Thank you for listening to today's episode of Medical Device Global Market Access by Pure Global. Today we are focusing on a critical standard for any medical device manufacturer conducting human trials. ISO 14155-2020, which outlines the principles of good clinical practice, or GCP, for the clinical investigation of medical devices. This standard is fundamental for ensuring the ethical conduct of trials, protecting the rights and safety of human subjects, and generating scientifically valid clinical data that is accepted by regulatory bodies worldwide, including those in the European Union and the United States. The 2020 version, published in July 2020, represents a significant evolution from its predecessor. The most profound change is the deep and comprehensive integration of risk management. It's no longer just about managing the risks of the investigational device itself. The standard now mandates applying the principles of ISO 14971, the risk management standard, to all stages of the clinical investigation process. This holistic approach, detailed in the new Annex H, means sponsors must identify, evaluate, and control risks associated with the trial's design, procedures, and data collection, ensuring a constant and documented benefit-risk analysis throughout the study's lifecycle. This emphasis on proactive planning is reflected in several new requirements. The standard clarifies the applicability of GCP across different clinical development stages, aligning closely with the EU medical device regulations call for a comprehensive clinical development plan. The Clinical Investigation Plan, or CIP, now requires more detail, particularly regarding statistical design and analysis, as explained in Annex A. Furthermore, there is a clear expectation for the registration of the clinical investigation in a publicly accessible database before enrolling the first subject, a major step towards greater transparency in the industry. Operationally, ISO 14155-2020 introduces several key changes. It formalizes the need for clinical quality management, requiring sponsors to implement systems and processes to ensure data integrity and compliance with the CIP. It also introduces the concept of risk-based monitoring. This allows sponsors to tailor the extent and nature of their monitoring activities based on a thorough risk assessment of the study, focusing resources on the most critical aspects. This is a move away from a one-size-fits-all approach to monitoring. Finally, the 2020 revision provides expanded guidance to support the entire clinical trial ecosystem. This includes an expanded scope to better address a wider range of technologies, including in vitro diagnostic devices. It also adds new informative annexes offering guidance for ethics committees on their review processes and for sponsors on conducting clinical investigation audits. These additions help clarify roles and promote consistency, strengthening the integrity of the data generated and ultimately patient safety. Navigating the complexities of ISO 14155 is crucial for a successful and compliant clinical investigation. If your organization requires expert support to navigate regulatory requirements for clinical trials or any other aspect of global market access, Pure Global is here to help. Please visit us at pureglobal.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.